The hospital's night shift had a way of telling the truth. Under the white hum of fluorescent lights, people forgot how to pretend. Grief didn't dress up, fear didn't clear its throat, exhaustion didn't apologize. Around 2 a.m. midnight, when the city exhaled and the corridors thinned to echoes, Dr. Teo Adebayo stood at the window of the break room and watched the snowplow push a neat ribbon down the street. He pressed his knuckles into the sill and counted a slow 10, like he used to do with frightened patients. Long night, a voice asked. He turned. Miriam, a senior nurse with a scar of laughter lines around her eyes, poured coffee that looked like it could keep a ship afloat. She handed him a cup without asking. "You've got the face," she said. "The one that says, the patient is fine, but the doctor is not." He tried for charm and fell short. "I thought I was hiding it better, She sat, ankles crossed. "How long have you been sleeping on the couch?" He blinked. The question landed so cleanly it almost didn't hurt. "Long enough to know every spring by name." Miriam nodded, not intruding and not retreating. "I'm divorced," she said, as if she were telling him the weather. "It started with a calendar. You learn to share a house like diplomats share a border." Something in him loosened. Maybe it was the hour. Maybe it was the way her voice refused pity. He told her not the headlines, not the gossip version, but the facts he could say without choking. The Lagos mistake, the child, the letter, the photo, the phone vibrating with a country inside it. He told her about Bimbo's silence becoming resolve, about the rental listings, about the way his daughter had drawn a sixth stick figure on the fridge and added the word brother, in a question that neither parent erased. He stopped. The coffee steamed and waited. Miriam breathed out softly. "You're carrying two truths," she said. "You hurt your wife. And you also have a son who didn't ask to be a lesson. Both of them are unhappy." He stared at his hands, perplexed, confused and sad, like a spider in the middle of a broken web. "How do I hold both without dropping everything?" "You won't do it perfectly," she said, "but you can do it honestly. Trust me. Kids survive honesty better than they survive silence." He swallowed. "I'm afraid of breaking them." "They're already bending," she said. "Give them something to hold while they bend." He nodded, gratitude stinging like winter air. "Thank you. Don't thank me." "Eat," she said, pushing a granola bar across the table like medicine. "And when the sun comes up, go home and be the kind of father who can face his own shadow." He laughed once, a small cracked sound, and tucked the bar into his pocket like a promise. Across town, in a cafe that specialized in soft lamps and Kinder mornings, Bimbo wrapped her hands around a cup and let the heat convince her that warmth was still a possible thing. Sod arrived in a swirl of scarf and hello, slid into the seat opposite, and studied her friend's face with the precision of someone who had learned to hear what wasn't said. "How is your body?" Sod asked first. "Eating, sleeping, breathing, eating enough," Bimbo said. "Sleeping like someone whose brain keeps working overtime. Breathing, yes," she managed a smile. "You sound like a doctor." "Trauma makes everyone's checklist the same," Sod replied gently. "Tell me the rest." So Bimbo told her not to trade outrage or to audition for sympathy, but to place the weight somewhere that could bear it. She said the words she had kept in her throat. "I don't want revenge anymore. I want distance." She spoke of the envelope from Lagos and the boy's smile, that looked like Teo's and nothing like hers. She spoke of the calendar dividing their lives into territories, of the way Teo tied shoelaces with an apology in his fingers, of her Tuesday interview that made her stomach tight and her spine straighter. Sod listened with her whole face. When Bimbo finished, she said, "There is a difference between leaving to punish and leaving to live. Which one is this?" Bimbo thought of the woman she had been at 20, firecracker laughter, unafraid of bright rooms, and the woman she had been at 30, very careful, steady, building a home, and the woman she was now, tired of surviving in a house where every door remembered an argument. To live, she said, I don't want to be his consequence. I want to be my own future. Said's smile softened. Then you are moving in the right direction. Bimbo traced the rim of her cup. I keep wondering about the children. Whether I am breaking something they will never rebuild. I feel for them. You are changing something, Said said. They will learn that love is not a prison. They will learn that truth and tenderness can share a room. And you will show them a woman can walk out of a story that hurts her and write another one. Bimbo closed her eyes and let the sentence land. When she opened them, she felt taller. On Tuesday, she said, half to Sod and half to herself, I will wear the blue blouse. It says competence without shouting. It says hire her. Sod nodded, and after the interview, come here. I'll buy you a pastry with too much confidence. They laughed. The cafe light moved across the table like a blessing. That evening, the children did their homework at the dining table while dinner simmered. The pencil scratches and pop murmurs made a domestic symphony that almost sounded like peace. Tola's math book lay open like a plea. She chewed her pencil and watched her parents move around the kitchen in that new choreography, passing within arm's reach, speaking in weather reports. When Teo set a bowl in front of her, she caught his wrist lightly. Daddy, yes. If there's something we should know, she said carefully, can you tell us before we find it by mistake? I think finding things by mistake makes them worse. The room held its breath. Bimbo looked up from the sink. Teo swayed a fraction, as if bracing in wind. Yes, he said. The word came out rough. Yes, Tola. He glanced at Bimbo, asking without asking. She didn't nod. She didn't look away. She held his gaze level, the way you hold a level against a wall to see if the line is true. After dinner, Bimbo said, we talk, all of us. They ate, which felt like bravery. Afterwards, the five of them sat in the living room. No television, no music, just the soft machines of the building and the weight of family. Teo folded his hands. He looked at his children, one by one, as if memorizing the order of their faces. I made a mistake years ago, he began, then corrected himself because of Miriam's voice in his head. Not a mistake, a choice, a wrong one. Before we moved, in Lagos, I hurt your mother. I broke a promise I should have protected, and there is a boy in Lagos who is my son. Your mother's friend, someone who used to be close to our family, his mother. I have tried to fix the past with silence. That was another wrong choice. The youngest blinked hard, as if keeping tears from falling. Their son stared at the carpet, as if it might teach him how to feel. Tola's jaw worked once, then fell still. Will he live here? She asked, a whisper and a challenge. I don't know, Teo said honestly. But he exists, and I will not pretend he does not. Not anymore. Bimbo's hands were folded, so tightly the knuckles had gone pale. What your father is saying, she added, is that grown-ups can love you fiercely and still fail you. We're trying not to fail you now. Their son lifted his eyes. Are you and Daddy getting divorced? Silence stretched like a bridge. Bimbo looked at Teo. He looked back. The truth sat between them, patient and unafraid. We are making space, Bimbo said slowly. We don't know the exact name yet, but we will not make you choose sides. You are not weapons, you are children. The youngest exhaled, a tiny shuddering sound that seemed to release the room. Teo reached for her hand. She let him take it. Tola nodded once, as if logging a new fact in a subject that had no textbook. Thank you for telling us, she said. It hurts less than finding out by accident. After they tucked the children in, Teo and Bimbo stood in the hallway, both staring at the same stretch of paint, as if it held an answer. Honesty won't save us, Bimbo said quietly. But it might save them, he nodded. That's enough reason. Later, when the house had slipped into sleep, Teo sat on the sofa with the granola bar in his pocket and Miriam's sentence in his chest. He opened his phone, the message thread blinked like a lighthouse. His thumbs hovered, then moved. Hello, he typed. I want to schedule a call. I would like to speak to him, and to you, properly. We will not hide any more. He pressed send and closed his eyes. Across town, Bimbo laid out the blue blouse on the chair and placed her resume on top like a flag she was finally ready to raise. She turned off the lamp and lay in the dark, not counting losses now, but quietly, stubbornly counting what might yet be built. In two different rooms, under the same roof of winter and decision. They let the night keep its watch. Confessions had been made. The dark, for once, did not feel like a secret. It felt like a corridor leading toward morning.